Thank you for tuning in to Talkwad.com, the world's fastest growing internet radio network. Please check out all the other great shows on www.talkwad.com.
The west central coast of Florida has an amazing music scene. Festivals, clubs, special performances, and there's always a lot of live music. The problem has always been getting the word out about events. Then GoTonight.com emerged on the scene. The brainstorm creation of founder Don McKeon, a Sarasota entrepreneur. We caught up with Don and his inspirational friend, Frank Papa, at the Flying Dog Cafe.
This is Frank. I'm Don. Frank is the reason that there is a GoTonight.com. He would call me repeatedly.
Where are we going? Where do you want to go? Where will we go tonight?
The website has been a boon to many small clubs. So next time you find yourself asking, where will we go tonight? You've got the answer.
You're listening to RockSlamRadio.com. From all studios to the world, we bring you the finest in quality entertainment. So grab a groupie, throw some horns, and settle in for another fine show from RockSlamRadio.com.
It's gonna be a long, long time. Touchdown brings me around against the fine. I'm not the man they think I am at all. No, I'm a rocket man. Rocket man.
Went well yesterday.
Good evening, Tampa Bay! All the 55 countries listening to my communique. This is the Rocket Man Show, and we've got a very special guest for the Eric Anderson Band. Billy Eisner, who is on his way to Texas with the Bearded Boys.
And T. Valdez, who we're waiting on.
Yes, and we're waiting on T. Valdez, known to us as Monty. But first, we're going to go into the... let me introduce our co-hosts here. We have Frank with our rock history and our co-host David J with his segment.
Rock J, baby, current events here with Rocket Man. Yeah.
All right, well, let's get to it then.
Okay,
this
baby.
day in music history. 1964, the Beatles spent the day filming at Twickenham Studios, recording A Hard Day's Night. It was the scene where they were playing Cars in the guard's cage on the train, miming to I Should Have Known Better. In 1965, this date, Tom Jones was at number 1 in the UK singles chart with It's Not Unusual, the Welsh singer's first of 16 UK top 40 hits during the 60s. In 1967, this date, the Supremes had their 9th U.S. number 1 single with Love Is Here and Now You're Gone. It only went to number 17 in the UK. 1967, music publisher Dick James announced that 446 different versions of the Paul McCartney song Yesterday had been recorded, up till that date. In 1968, the Otis Redding hit Dock of the Bay went gold in the U.S. 3 months, sadly, after Otis passed away in a plane crash. How about that guy's luck? In 1970, winners of the Grammy Awards that year included Joe South for Song of the Year with Games People Play. Love that song. Crosby, Stills, and Nash won New Best Artist. And the Fifth Dimension won Record of the Year with Aquarius, Let the Sun Shine. In 1970, Deja Vu, the first album by Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young, and only the second by the trio configuration of Crosby, Stills, and Nash, was released. It topped the pop album chart for 1 week and spawned 3 U.S. top 40 singles, Teach Your Children, Our House, and Woodstock, another great song. 1972 on this date, Neil Young went number 1 in the U.S. and U.K. With his album Harvest, and the album featured the hit single Heart of Gold. I thought there were so many better songs on that album. In 1972, Harry Nilsson was at the number 1 spot in the UK a singles chart with his version of the Peter Ham and Tom Evans song Without You. First recorded by Badfinger in 1970, which I didn't know, and the song was also a #1 for Mariah Carey in 1994.
Nielsen Schmielsen.
Yeah, Nielsen Schmielsen. In 1978, Meatloaf's Bat Outta Hell album began a 416-week run on the UK chart, going on to sell over 2 million copies. And on this date in 2008, Madonna was inducted into the U.S. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame at the Waldorf Astoria Hotel in New York. She received the award from singer Justin Timberlake. And also inducted that year was rock star John Cougar Mellencamp, Leonard Cohen, The Ventures, and the Dave Clark Five. And that's this date in music history, Ross.
All right, yeah. That's a really good segment there. Now let's get on with David J.
Current news. You know, a lot of the rock history is really foundational for what's happening now. 3 March 8, 2013. Antimusic.com. Van Halen working on new music as reported by Gibson Entertainment. Van Halen has a busy touring schedule this year, which includes gigs in Australia in April and Japan in June, according to a bass player Wolfgang Van Halen. New music may also be a part of the band's 2013 plans. As the story goes, Wolfgang recently told Billboard that he was actually helping bringing his dad Eddie, Uncle Alex, and lead singer David Lee Roth back together to fashion tracks for the group's 2012 reunion album, A Different Kind of Truth. And that process kind of put the guys into the mindset of when they wrote these songs. So Wolfgang, the son of Eddie, has been taking a lot of heat because he replaced the original bass player, Michael Anthony. He's been dissed. Actually, Wolfgang started when he was 16 in 2007. There was been a rift between Michael Anthony and Eddie Van Halen for years, and finally his son took that bass player position over in the Van Halen band. And it's been, he's been getting bad death threats and wishes that were very disconcerting or disrespectful. Right now, Wolfgang's 21. The way Wolfgang says is, hey, I like what I'm doing. I dig playing, and so I let it kind of go over my head. And so Wolfgang's got used to that dissing and that. But hey, according to the interview on Antimusic.com, he's actually brought the band together with David Lee Roth into new songwriting, and hopefully we're going to get some new material from Van Halen this year, 2013. Also, another interesting article, I do want to touch on a little bit of pop here. Justin Bieber's been dissed. He's been taking a hell of a bunch of treatment now on tour in London. One, he had the worst birthday party ever in London. He's been there about 2 weeks. The second one, he was 2 hours late at the O2 Arena for a concert, which threw everything off. The parents got all upset. He actually got fined £300,000, man, by the Brits because he was 30 minutes over time. Their curfew at the O2 is 11 o'clock sharp, man, and they mean it. They will hit you big time. Also, he passed out backstage from all his pressure. Remember, Justin Bieber is only 19 years old. Then he was hospitalized. After that, the next day, he was threatened by paparazzi in a profanity-laced shouting match outside his hotel. So going on to Portugal, Lisbon especially, he's had to cancel one of the concerts, a Tuesday night concert. He's going to troop it out and go on Monday night in Lisbon. So again, Justin has been taking a hit. He's probably going to need to take a little break from this experience over here in Europe, but we wish him well, and hopefully he doesn't have to go into the hospital. Also, another trooper that's been in the news. And let me tell you, a lot of these rock stars are in major condition. You think, I know Mick Jagger was a runner for a long time, man, to keep himself in shape and that. Once the schedule is set for these big shows, man, these people got to go through. The last thing they want to do, the producers want to return the money because an entertainer can't go on for some reason. But unfortunately, Motley Crue's singer Vince Neil was rushed to the hospital. He had to have surgery because of gallstones and that. He cut short a concert in Australia due to that internal pain that was so intense. There was no way he could get around it without being taken off the stage and rushed into the hospital to go to surgery. He's expected to make a full recovery and, get this, back on stage for Brisbane's show tomorrow. Can you believe that, man? These guys are incredible. They're going through hell tell them that. Major money's at stake, and the scheduling, the time management is so important. The guy's got to be in shape. So, that whole concept about drugs and alcohol and rock and roll, forget about that, man. The guys that are staying around a long time are the ones that are staying in shape to meet that scheduled demand and make sure the fans are getting the benefit from them performing, because that's what it's all about. These people are there because of the fans, and you got to expect some kind of a little bit of razzing for paparazzi and those people, because they want to get pictures. They're trying to make money off these big boys too. So if you can't stay in the water, get out of it, because let me tell you, it's going to be intense up there for the big boys. And thank you so much for Motley Crue singer Vince Neil being helped in a way that he will get right back on stage and perform like a trooper that is. Actually, Nick's one of the Motley Crue, the bass player there, mentioned that
Nicky Six.
Yeah, Mickey. He mentioned that Neil he actually went on stage with broken bones. He had never missed concerts in that, so this was really an intense incident. It just shows you how tough the guys are in that, right, Rocket Man?
Yeah, I'd say that's a very big dedication for towards the music itself. I was wondering now, since they've gotten David Lee Roth back in the band, have they ever actually aspired to get back Sammy Hagar?
No, they have not. Actually, David Lee Roth is the main character right now as a vocalist. And actually, Sammy Hagar, he's been running restaurants, and one was in New Jersey that was destroyed by Hurricane Sandy. It doesn't expect to be reopened. He's been in a businessman position. He's selling tequila, and that he has been on tour though. But David Lee says he's supposed to be on tour to sell tequila, baby, because he's in another side of the business now.
Oh, no, say it isn't so.
You talked about being a trooper and guys showing up sick. We have one with us in the studio tonight, Eric Anderson of the Eric Anderson Band, fighting cold all week, fighting illness. Made it to the show here tonight. Eric, welcome, man.
Well, thank you very much. It's really great to be back here in the studio with all of you and all you out there in the internet.
Oh, we got... I thought we had a call there.
We almost had a call.
Ah, okay. Yeah, we don't answer block calls, so if you're going to call up at the studio here at 727-597-4022, call us freely, not with a block on it. Yeah.
So what do you got going on, Eric?
Oh, we got all kinds of stuff going on. I'm kind of recovering. I'm back in action. Like I said, I was ill last week. Man, let me tell you, there's been something that's going around that I hope that nobody gets it, because it was just a real pain. I haven't been this sick in a long time, and I'm feeling great now, though.
We missed you last week, man.
Yeah, thanks.
Jam.
Actually, that's the first time I missed the jam since we started taking it over. First time I've ever missed the jam from illness. I mean, it was. I think the only other time I actually missed the jam is when I had to go judge a dance contest, and that was a heck of a time.
Yeah, but you got there later that night, as I recall.
I did.
Yeah, you got to try some echinacea. That usually helps.
Yeah, I'm hearing about that, and emergency, and Theraflu, and all kinds of stuff.
One way you can do it is echinacea. You can use it just like antibiotics. Take some every 8 hours. It'll go away. For sure, it will. I've done a lot of study on herbology and stuff like that. So,
herbology.
Yes, herbology.
All right. I'll buy that for $1.
It's not what you think. Maybe. Oh.
But mentioning the jam, of course, is we have the distinct pleasure of hosting the longest running jam in Pasco County at the Boulevard Lounge, and that takes place every Wednesday night from 9 to 1. And if you are a musician and you are in the area, please feel free to come on down, bring your instruments. We have bring an amp too if you like, but we do have some amps and drums and PA, and it's 17 years in running, this particular jam.
Basically a plug and play. It's been going. You guys do a great job with that too, man.
Thank you.
Basically, this is the longest jam around, and as other jams come and go, this one's always here to stay.
It has been consistent. Yeah, it started over 21 years ago at a different location, 17 at the current one.
So I wonder what happened to Monty. Monty, where are you? We are looking for you.
That's with Monty Valdez and Billy Eisner. Also,
yes, it's the makeup of the Eric Anderson Band getting together for Jam Sandwich Night every Wednesday, And we also have some interesting things coming up too. We're actually playing a little gig called a Chasco Fiesta. Actually,
Really? Yeah, which one?
Little gig.
Are you going to be in the parade, or are you?
Well, it's funny you should say that. That particular weekend is going to be extremely busy for me personally. It's because not only am I playing with my band, I'm also been playing with Circle Sky as well, and I know you're all familiar with those guys.
See, I've been wanting to tow a band behind me with this big ass open trailer that I have. You can fit the whole band, the PA, everything on it.
He's been saying this for weeks.
And you
now.
can go right in through right on the parade, and there'll be thousands of people watching.
It would be like the Rolling Stones doing Brown Sugar, like back in what was that, 71 when they were in the city.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm glad you mentioned the Rolling Stones. The report now, it is for sure playing a North American tour, a concert, and I've been talking about the Stones going on in Glastonbury and back and forth with the band and that. And Mick doesn't like to announce anything. It states here from Henny Music, antimusic.com, 30 March 11, 2013. Rolling Stone magazine is reporting that a concert business source confirms the Rolling Stones are planning 18 concerts in North America this year. May 2nd is the launch day, says another source. I've heard West Coast cities, LA and Seattle, but I think they're going to do some back east as well. So the Rolling Stones, for certain, and I mentioned it last night, they are going to be on tour in North America.
How about Florida, though? We'd like to see them coming into Florida a little bit.
That's a good point. I'm not sure they're going to be in Florida. I don't know what the dates are. Remember, there's only 18, and that's all the continent in North America.
I'll tell you what, if I was a band and I was touring America, I would want to come to Florida because it's nice and warm here. You don't have to deal with those blizzards up north.
Jagger's probably afraid they're going to stick him out in the villages somewhere.
Tell you what, one thing about our area though is one of the greatest rock riffs of all time was thought of right here in the Clearwater Beach. It was the opening riff to Satisfaction.
Wow.
That's
amazing.
an interesting tidbit.
Yes, it is.
Wow.
A little trivia, and I wasn't looking at the notes either.
Yeah.
Yeah, none of us have notes on
Actually,
that. That was a good
I
one.
do that at karaoke all the time. So I rock the whole place out, man. You know, the whole Jagger verse, and I loved it. I didn't know. There's always this spiritual connection. You know, and I had no clue that was so local in that, you know?
Oh, yeah. He was, apparently, I think the story goes that Keith Richards was sleeping, woke up, he was down at some hotel on Clearwater Beach, and came up with this riff in his sleep, went back to bed, and woke up the next day, and it's like, it's all history.
Damn.
Man.
Cool. So, Eric, how did the Eric Anderson band actually get started?
How did it get started? Well, hey, it all stems from the jam, pretty much,
Pretty much
So I
around
met
there
all
with
these
the
guys, from just jamming downtown, and that's kind of how it started. We figured, let's get together. We're running the jam, and it's, well, what are we gonna do now? Do you want to do some shows? Yeah, okay, let's do some shows. And then you start playing with each other a lot, and next thing you know, you get some dates, and it's kind of getting back into the swing of things. Because I've been playing music for a very long time. It's kind of on hiatus for a while, and it was great to get back into it.
Now, you had mentioned Chasco Fiesta. I know you said you had a busy weekend, but you're going to do some time at the band shell? You're going to be one of the main acts there at the band shell?
We're going to be playing that Saturday right after the parade. We got the 3 o'clock slot, so we're really excited about that. We should have a nice turnout that day. Chasco Fiesta every year is an amazing event, and is a great showcase for some great talent, and the band's going to be pumped up and ready to go.
I got a lot of great pictures of Circle Sky doing that just last year.
Yeah, I had the pleasure of jamming with them too last year. Did a couple of songs with them with the old lineup, and that's just a great configuration.
Mark
right there.
Allen did a great job in your absence last week too. I want to throw that.
Yeah,
in there.
just
He
a
did.
big major props out to Mark, and I was playing with him over the weekend. And now, guess what?
He'll be back this week because Billy's out in Texas.
Yeah, but he just got sick too.
Oh no!
So hopefully he'll make it on Wednesday. I'm sure he will, but because he wasn't feeling it too good on Saturday. No, not at all.
Well, Billy, good luck on your trip to Texas. You and the Bearded Boys.
Yeah, the Bearded Brothers. Yeah,
The Bearded Brothers on
Tim
their way
Cronin, Billy Eisner, Tommy G, Eric Paulson. I think their guitar player's name is.
That's it. I haven't met
They're
him.
going out there with producer Lance Quinn. Good job. We'd like, as long as we're on this subject, I want to thank everybody who turned out to Bourbon Street yesterday for that fundraising event. Heard an interesting band, the Mojo Dragonfly. Played an energetic set. Finally got to hear the Embry Brothers play. Of course, we did our little thing as the Boulevard Boys there to open the show up. But thanks for the support. We raised enough money, and the guys are on their way to Texas. So if they're watching on a laptop, traveling across country, good luck out there, fellas.
So, Eric, what were your influences that got you started as a musician, and how long have you been playing?
Oh, my gosh. Wow. Too many to list and too many years to talk about.
Okay.
What a cop-out, man.
Well, you know what? All the classic stuff, the stuff I still listen to today, and the stuff that we like to play in the band, you know, the Beatles, the Stones, Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, The Who, Frank Zappa, and a lot of fusion influence as well. Guys like Alan Holdsworth and John McLaughlin, Brand X, John Goodsall is one of my favorite guitar players of all time. Got a very underrated guy, but he's created some really amazing music. Some old Genesis, some of the prog stuff. All that stuff comes into play.
Oh, Genesis at the late 80s, they were the king of the airwaves. You couldn't hardly turn on the radio without hearing Genesis or even just Phil Collins himself. Yeah, so that was one thing you would definitely hear. Now, if you're about umpteen 1,000 million miles out in space, you'll probably start hearing those broadcasts coming up on you.
Yeah, right.
Because broadcasts continually travel until they hit something. You know, it's any signal that goes out, it's still going to travel forever.
I think Project SETI's been doing that for about 20 or 30 years now, haven't they? The search for extraterrestrial intelligence or something.
Oh, well, they've already found that they're living at Area 51 right now.
And music will make it happen, baby, yeah. They're going to vibe into the great music we have around.
Yeah, they've been rehearsing feverishly for the past few months, and they're going to be touring by the end of next year.
So what was your, what would you say is your worst or your best gigs ever?
My worst or my best gigs? Wow.
Oh, give us one of each.
That's funny. You know what? Wow. Okay, this is interesting. Okay, I could say that probably one of the best and worst simultaneously.
Oh boy.
Was a gig at it was the Bitter End. Only was called the Other End at the time.
The Bitter End.
Well, that would be the Bitter End.
It changed. They changed their name for a short period of time. They turned into the Other End. It was just kind of circa '82 or so. And
not Circus Soleil.
and we had a gig there. Original band. I was in a band called Slaphammer at the time, and real trashy rock and roll downtown scene. Good stuff. And but what happened was there was no one there, and it was very late. There was no one there. It was very depressing, but we played a kick-ass show, I must say. That was the good portion of it. That it was great. What sucked is that there was nobody there. So it was,
isn't that the way it happens sometimes?
Yeah.
You know,
you're
at your
best performances in front of no one.
Yeah.
I actually played a gig at a place that was called the Golden Nugget. It was a bar in Holiday. We opened up for a band called Jedi, and when we left after our segment, so did the whole crowd. Not one single person was left. Jedi was pissed at us.
And Jedi is one of the better-known area bands. I think they're still together and touring.
Oh, yeah, they're the longest-running bands around here.
Yeah, they've opened up some really big shows in the area over the years.
I've tried to get them on the show. They'll say, yes, we'll come on the show. But later on, I just don't get any input from them at all. So they're lost.
They're lost.
What are your main goals as a musician? Is it just for? Are you looking for mostly for pleasure or money or both?
Well, a little. It's what's any musician's goal really? I mean, everybody wants to make a little something when they play, sure. But you play because you have to, really. I mean, if you're a musician, that's what you do. You play. Mm-hmm. You feel it. You enjoy what you do. If you don't enjoy it, then you shouldn't be doing it. Really. I have as much fun with it as I can. I love playing every chance I get. Like I said, I've been very busy lately playing with my project and doing the jam every Wednesday. And that's always fun because it's even though we play consistently, it's consistently inconsistent.
Yeah, it's an eclectic mix
You
throughout
know,
the
you
night.
know,
You never know what you're going to hear.
You never know who's going to show up. I mean, we've had members of Blue Oyster Cult show up one night, and that was fantastic. Having actually Buck Dharma, original guitar player, show up, and here we are doing "Don't Fear the Reaper."
All right.
And Ron Riddle was there.
And Ron
too.
Riddle, yeah, and he and Don.
Mike Allman came through.
Mike Allman has come in, sure. And so you never know who's going to show up, but it's a lot of fun. But every chance I get, you know, I really enjoy. Like I've done acoustic duos with Billy Eisner, and you know, I'm currently playing drums for Circle Sky. And matter of fact, we just did a gig over at the Eagle's Nest in Tarpon Spring this past Saturday, and that was a little rough because I'm coming off my cold, and I'm on the upswing, and Mark's kind of on the downswing, and we were just, but we were plugging through and having fun with it, you know. And that's with a trio with myself and Mark Allen and Roberto.
David J. likes that. He'd call you guys troopers, right, Dave?
You know, man, it takes a lot to stay with it, especially when you're, you know, a little odd hours, late night hours, and that. And a lot of times at 24/7, you know, the music bears on you. And you're exactly right, man. If music's not your passion, you know, if you don't want to play, man, why the hell do it? You know, don't waste your time, man.
Well, that's a point that I was going to bring up. I was in a band called Overdrive, which I so named. We had a female singer that she had done it all of her life, but she got so burnt out from doing it that she couldn't take any pleasure in it anymore. So it's like you said, if you don't take any pleasure in it, don't do it no more. So she quit.
Yeah, that's
after
sad,
all this
man.
time.
Hey,
Monty's here! Yes!
Stepping into the studio as
and
we
he
speak.
brought a guitar with
Monty
him.
Valdez, the bass player for the Eric Anderson Band.
All right.
Welcome, Monty.
Welcome to the Rocket Man Show there, Monty. You got a microphone right there.
Thank you.
Here's your headphones. See if they're still on.
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. That's another good band there. Yeah.
Monty, the prankster and jokester of this group.
Woohoo!
Sometimes I have a bad ear infection today.
Oh,
Everybody's
great.
sick.
It's like the
And they're
old
just
folks
sick
home
of
up
it.
in there,
I
man.
just left the doctor.
Whatever it is, it's all going around, and it's terrible.
Well, I wanted to ask you both of you. What is it? Can you tell our audience and yours what it feels to actually be a musician and really be in front of a crowd? Let them know how you feel when you're right in front of that crowd,
Especially with
and playing.
Chasco coming up. That'll be a big
yeah.
crowd.
It's exciting. You I don't know. No matter how many times I play a gig like that, I always still get some butterflies. It's like
Yeah, but you're
it's
next to
never-
the drum
it's
set,
never
man.
routine. It's never routine.
You're a bass player, man. He's way up back there. You know, he's not up front. The front man, that's the one, you know, gets the energy going in that.
I
you
don't know.
Get it going.
He's up there, man.
Yeah.
He's visible. Monty's visible.
Yeah, we're a three-piece, so you know.
Oh,
yeah.
three-piece. Huh?
Yes, yeah, guitar, bass, and drums, and it's it's exciting every time you play. You play the best you can, no matter what the situation is. Really, I mean, like I was saying, you know, you talk about the best gig, worst gig. You know, 1982 in front of 0 people, you know, playing your heart out. But why? You know, because you play, because you want to do the best you can, no matter where you are.
It doesn't matter if it's 1 or 1,000, man. You put you play. That's your thing, man. Let it happen.
But I will tell you this: in front of the more people, the better it is for me.
You know,
you get an adrenaline
much
rush
better,
for
man.
sure.
You get an adrenaline rush, but it's just like, you know, you feed off that energy. If you're up and you're ready to go, and everyone sees you and they're enjoying what you're doing, and just you know,
It's a big exchange.
It's a
of energy.
synergistic relationship that's happening there between you and the audience. It really
Symbiotic.
is.
Yeah, you're right about
Yeah.
that. Yeah, you feed off that energy just like
And
Monty
the
said.
audience feeds off of your energy as well, so it's a big exchange of energy.
Especially when you're loud and energetic.
Yeah,
Loud
you don't
and
have to be
proud.
drunk or anything. If you just get out there and play and you're putting it all into it, you'll have a natural adrenaline high every time if you're giving it your all.
It's true.
I would say.
Monty,
Yeah.
I have a question that I've asked Eric here. What is your best and what is your worst gig ever?
That you can remember.
That you can remember. That you didn't get too drunk from. Oh.
No, some of my best ones, I was pretty buzzed. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
it
I'm
just
sure.
felt great. But I've had some bad gigs. I don't know the actual worst gig. It's hard to say because I've made some serious mistakes. But shit.
Now, what age did you start playing, Monty? I know you started really young.
15.
Because your whole family was musically
Yeah,
inclined.
my dad also plays. He's actually been on the show. He's in Lost and Found. He's Monty also. He plays keyboards.
Oh, cool.
Those guys are good. They're really good.
Yes, they are.
And how about you, Eric? When did you start?
I probably started playing when I was around 11, 12 years old, and then started playing in my first band when I was about 15.
Wow.
14, actually. No, it was about 14.
So you came up through the garage band circuit, huh?
Yeah, we started at junior high and, the assemblies at school and stuff. And then next thing you know, we started playing gigs. Actually, the first club gig we played was in Manhattan.
While you were a teenager?
Yeah, I was 14 or 15.
And they didn't try to boot you out of the bar for being underage?
You gotta, we were the band. You can't kick out the entertainment, but
You get a little extra clout when you're the band.
But you can kind of hide in the dressing room for 3 hours after your sound check. Oh no, they're gonna hope they don't find us. And then we get up there, we start playing, and we do our thing. And that was there was a place called the Great Gildersleeves, if anybody out there remembers that. And that was about a block and a half away from CBGB's, which we've played as well, but back in the day. And that's a fun times, that's for sure.
Oh, cool. Have any of you ever experienced stage fright on stage at all?
Well, I mean, Butterfly, just not to the point where I couldn't play. Definitely not. I mean, I was in front of people from a young age, even in elementary school, singing in chorus and taking drama and all that. I got used to being in front of people, plus my dad being a musician, playing in bands. Of course, I was there. People knew I was his son, so sometimes, you'd have to be in front of strangers and awkward moments, even, when you didn't want to from a young age.
Yeah, right. It's not to the point where you're like, you start, you freeze and you go into shock. Oh no, what am I gonna do? It's like no. It's
That's what I was talking about. Before, it's like you always have the butterfly.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people,
And
there, of course, you feel pressure to play good and you want to play good. So
yeah, you start with the butterflies, but as soon as you start playing,
one or two
and everything
songs
starts going, then you're in.
Yeah, the butterflies go away.
They go away.
Well, I got to thank Monty. I want to do this publicly because he's really helped me. I didn't start playing bass. I'm pretty much self-taught except for my friends, a.k.a. Monty Valdez over there.
Thank you.
Kind of encourages me all the time and shows me little things here and there, and I appreciate that, Monty. Thanks a lot, man.
Well, Frankie, you're an inspiration. Frank, it's just awesome. He started playing at such a late age, and just watch him not play and
I didn't
just
start
loving the jam. Then all of a sudden now he's playing and he can play a night's worth of songs.
I started playing the drums at the age of 40, so
I didn't pick up the bass till 44, man. And,
and that's the only thing you play. It's not.
Oh, by the way, who's going to be playing the drums for you Wednesday? Who's going to play the drums for you Wednesday night?
Oh, Mark Allen.
Oh, Mark.
Yeah, Mark.
Whatever happened to their gig across the street?
Someone else is running that now.
Oh, okay.
They had a change out.
They had a change out, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, now I understand. Why he was there for somewhat.
He did a good job filling in for Eric on Wednesday, and we're looking forward to playing with him this coming week.
Yeah, he bribed a bunch of us with the pizza from Little Caesars.
He bribed us. That was just an act of kindness, man. He's a cool guy, and that's.
I know. That was just
that was really funny because I'm getting a text from Monty. I'm like home in bed, like just drooling and sniffling, and it's like I can't make it. I can't go to the gym. Zzz, the phone buzzes. It's Monty. Hey, pizza party at the Boulevard. It's like, oh, what is this? Of all days for me to miss.
Yeah. That was great to see it, Mark.
Now, I know if you guys want to keep up with the Eric Anderson Band, you've got a Facebook page.
Yes, we do. It's facebook.com/The Eric Anderson Band. We also have a Reverb Nation page as well for some of my material that I've posted. It's got a couple of sound bites of some original material that I've been working on. You can get to that through ericandersonmusic.com.
So you're going to be featuring some original stuff soon?
I was thinking about it. Because you guys know that primarily we do covers and enjoy it very much. But there are some pieces of material that I'd like to introduce to the band and see if we can get some of that stuff going as well.
Cool.
So most of that is actually instrumental, guitar oriented type stuff. So it's So it would be a nice, because since we do jam a lot, hence the jam sandwich. it would be a pretty nice thing to incorporate into what we do now.
Well, that's one of the things I ask a lot of the bands that run through here on the Rocket Man show is, where they stand with original music. And, I think when you play out like you guys do on occasion, you always need to have 3 or 4 of them sneak one in per set kind of deal and try to get people accustomed to it, once you have it ready. And I'd much rather, not that the covers aren't great, because every time somebody does a cover, they bring their own style or tempo or whatever you want to call it to it. But, I'd like to hear some more original stuff, man. I'm looking forward to hearing some of that. That'd be fun.
I'd love to hear some myself. If you're wondering, this is the Rocket Man Show. We want to remind everybody that our number here is 727-597-4022. If you'd like to have any comments or questions with the Eric Anderson Band. So, David J., what's going on, man?
I was just kind of listening to everybody and all the vibes about, local independent artists, and the camaraderie that the artists have at the venues for the jam nights. And especially Newport Richey is a great music town, man. There's a lot of stuff going on there. And, all the musicians, they play for various reasons, but, that passion is so paramount in the overall force that is behind in the production moving on. But we all have our dreams, and Jack White is one of the major successes this year, especially 2012, scores gold with Blunderbuss. Jack White's debut solo album, Blunderbuss, has been awarded a gold record by the RIAA after selling more than 500,000 copies in the U.S. The album was released in April of last year and debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200 album charts. Can you imagine that debuting at #1, man?
Can you tell us, some of our audience might not know what the IRAA stands for. What is that?
Recording Industry of America, I believe. IRAA, that's a recording industry that gives out awards and so forth.
Looks sort of like ASCAP. ASCAP can make sure that the musicians do get paid. So
I think Eric's familiar with the RIA.
I don't know the politics about that. I mean, I don't know how they judge. I don't even know how they judge it. Actually, it's numbers, man. 500,000.
You were with the IRA. I didn't know you were Irish.
And so close to St. Patty's Day too.
Yes, it is.
Right? That's crazy, man. So, in addition to Chasco, what other gigs you guys have coming up?
Well, let me see. I got matter of fact, this Friday. This Wednesday we have the jam, and that's ongoing. This Friday I'm playing drums with Circle Sky at the Seaside Inn in Port Richey, and then we're playing. The Eric Anderson Band's playing on St. Patty's Day at the Seaside Inn, also on Sunday afternoon.
Seaside
Sunday. That's right. The Sunday Fun Day from 4 to 8, and that's going to be a great time. And actually, we have and being that our pal Billy's out of town. Doing his South by Southwest gig with the Bearded Brothers, we're going to ask, we got Mark Allen filling in on drums as well. So Mark's been pretty busy with us, too.
Is Mark Allen also the guitar player?
He's the guitar player from Circle Sky, yeah.
Yes. Mark Allen's amazing, man. I was thinking, when he was in the Jack's joint, they had a GM night down there. Amazing drummer. I mean, a great musician, man. An incredible guy,
Yeah, he's very
He was doing that with Wendy, and I came down and filled in with him as well on occasion. So.
Well, most of those guys are. I mean, Eric plays drums, plays guitar. Mark plays drums, guitar, could play bass, keyboards. I mean, a lot of these guys are very well-rounded, man. We're lucky to have them, and we enjoy playing with them.
Well, I play bass.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as you, brother.
And I play the crowd, too, like a mother.
Yeah, he does. He does. You are the jokester, the prankster. You're the glue that holds it all together there, Monty.
He's the man that wears many hats.
That is his trademark. That's right.
A different hat every show.
I love the astronaut helmet. We got to find that and resurrect that one.
Definitely.
I myself am a little bit like Eric because I played a number of instruments too. I used to have a studio where I would just be staring at some of these other instruments, and I thought, well, I'm going to just start learning all this stuff. And I actually influenced myself to do so. My influence for learning instruments in general pretty much came from a country music star. His name was Roy Clark. When he was doing Hee Haw.
Yeah. What a guitar! I mean, they get good play.
Roy
Clark,
Buck Owens.
Yeah, Buck Owens. Another Hee Haw great. That's for sure. if you're into country music, which, you know, I'm not going to knock it, but that's really not my my first choice.
When I was growing up, I was my dad played country music all the time, and I'm like going, oh, I can't stand this stuff. And my first exposure to rock and roll was to a live band called the Turtles. They were playing Happy Together, and I was just happy to be there.
Uh-huh.
The Turtles.
Oh, yeah.
That's
a great song.
Flo and
that's
Eddie.
going back, man.
That's one
Flo
song
and Eddie.
that deserves a redo, you know, by a band.
You know, that was the big pop hit for those guys. But then, if you ever listen to some of the other stuff that they did with Frank Zappa and the Mothers, and it's pretty incredibly different from that.
I don't know. I'm of the mindset there are some songs that just shouldn't be redone, man. You know, they're good just the way they are. Leave them alone.
Most songs.
Yeah.
You ever heard of a band called Typo Negative?
Oh, yes.
Yes, they did. I saw them over at Livestock, and they did an incredible Doors tune, which I thought was excellent. You didn't hear much. You won't hear much about any of them anymore because the singer actually died.
Well, Pete Steele passed away, and he actually they had I think one of the big singles they had from an album called Bloody Kisses. It was their second or third album, and actually I got a funny story about that. But they did a cover of Summer Breeze.
You mean the Seals and Cross version?
Yeah. So, but when he sings it, he sings his Summer Breeze. You know, it's like all
he's like
deep.
really deep voice. Yeah.
But that was an interesting thing because back in the day I used to be in the music industry per se. We used to sell records, and that was one of the releases that we put out. And they used to be on a record label called Roadrunner Records, and the owner of the company at the time, I'm not sure if he still owns it or what. Just many years ago, his name was Case, and he was from Holland, and he made a deal with our with distribution company. That he says, if you make this album go gold, we're going to fly you and the whole sales staff out to Amsterdam for a long weekend. And sure enough, a year and a half later, the album went gold. 500,000 records, and that's it. About 40 sales guys and me and another marketing person and the execs all went to Amsterdam for a long Martin Luther King weekend.
Yeah, about a month, right?
Yeah.
So they
weekend that lasted a month.
So they went to Amsterdam, and then when they come back, they got busted at the gate for having so much pot on them.
I think one day in Amsterdam would be like a long weekend.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Monty.
Let's just say the coffee's great over there.
Yeah,
absolutely. And the Heineken is not made out of canal water like they say they export to the United States. So that's pretty funny stuff. But it's a beautiful city, though. If you haven't been, it's a beautiful city.
If anybody has any comments or questions for our band here, just call in 727-597-4022. This is the Rocket Man Show. Go ahead, give us a call if you want. If you'd like to hear more about what's going on and what's coming up ahead.
Yeah, you know what? I got just to get back to what I was saying about a very long weekend, very busy weekend we have coming up, because we also are playing on the weekend of Chasco, April 5th and 6th. Now that Friday night, I'm going to the Chasco Ball because I was nominated for King.
Oh,
all right.
So it's an interesting thing because it's a formal affair, so I'm going to be in a tuxedo, right?
Are we going to
So once I come out of the tuxedo, I have to fly out of there, get to the boulevard to get behind the drums to play drums for Circle Sky, right?
In the tux?
In the tux, yeah. I think we're all going to wear tuxedos. I think that's kind of the plan. So it's kicking off the Chasco weekend. And then the next day is the parade, So we're supposed to be in the parade, and we're going to check out the logistics of this. Because once you get off the float that I'm supposed to be on is going to be kind of up in the front. It's about 120, 130 floats, I think it is. We're probably like number 10 or something, And then then we get off, fly over to the park, set up, because our gig is at 3 to 4:30.
That's the Eric Anderson band.
That's the Eric
Monty
Anderson
and
band.
Billy.
That's with me and my Monty here and Billy Eisner. And after that, we're playing Circle Sky. Roberto, Mark Allen, and myself are going to be flying over to the Tarpon Springs Art Festival from 6 to 8. And then after that gig, we're flying back over to the Boulevard from 9:30 to 1 9:30 to 1:30.
Oh, my
with the
God.
Night 2. So it's just like
regular old James Brown.
it's unbelievable.
Better get a bottle of that 5-hour energy drink.
A case.
When do you ever have time to do any practicing at all? You know,
He just told you.
When you're playing, when you're playing all the time,
3
you know.
gigs a day. I don't think you need to practice a whole lot.
Yeah, right. So it's just that's a very busy weekend. Very excited about that. It's going to be, it's like sometimes you don't play for a little while. Next thing you know, you got 4 gigs in a weekend. Go figure.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, make some more money. More money.
So we're really excited about that, and then also plan on getting some more, some more gigs. It's just interesting because there's. We have, I'm playing in 2 different bands. Billy's involved in all kinds of stuff. He's also plays in a band called Protocol. Now he's going to South by South with us, the Bearded Brothers. He's with me. He does acoustic thing too. He's doing a duo with Mark. He just played too. I mean, so it's
an animal.
It's wild stuff. So it's like coordinating. Of our availabilities is a challenge sometimes.
So you're going to be dubbed a king of what?
King Pithala.
When do you know if you won?
That night, actually.
Yeah, it's a very old tradition.
I was about to say, all hail King Eric.
No.
Where is that ball?
We'll have to learn to do some genuflecting here.
They do that to Spartan.
It's at the Spartan Manor, yeah.
Yeah,
it's a great affair.
1 block
it's
from my house.
Come on down.
I will.
Wear your tux.
Yeah, tux.
Get the T-shirt. Well, Monty will have, like I have, the T-shirt with the tux printed on it.
My T-shirt has ruffles, though. There you go. It's extra fancy tuxedo T-shirt.
Extra fancy.
Yeah.
That'll work.
Cool.
So it's a great event. It's a great affair. It's an honor to be nominated, actually, and I'm very humbled by that.
That's a real old tradition, man.
Yeah, it really is.
Chasko has changed so much over the years, but that's one of the things that they've kept the same.
So if you do win, you'll be in the parade as the king the next day? Is that how that works?
Yeah, but as a nominee, I have the ability to ride on the royal float.
Well, yeah.
So it's but it's not just me. I mean, you got to understand that there's a lot of nonprofits in the area and other nominating organizations that are gonna. That nominate men and women for King Pithala and Queen Chasko, and I think all in total, you're talking about maybe 40 or 50 people. So, I'm like
on one float?
No, not everybody can fit, but I mean, it's like I'm 1 to 20, one of 20, 25 guys.
I was actually thinking of getting into the parade the next weekend, the boat parade.
Oh, the boat parade,
yeah,
that's
I'll
always
probably
a
be
blast
on my
too.
speedboat.
That's a blast.
Now that'd be cool to have a whole band set up on one of those deck boats, and just be floating down the river and rocking.
Actually, I could probably tow a raft with my speedboat.
Yeah. Old steady hands Roger behind the wheel.
Yeah, hey, whoa, that drum set just fell over.
Yeah, it would be all
Going
crashes.
All crashes.
Be like, good thing my amp's on wheels, there it goes flying off the bow.
Yeah, you're talking about all the activities going on around the area. There's so much in Tampa Bay with the music scene and everything, the concert series, not only that, but also, the boats and the parades and that. Rolling Stone came up with a kind of analysis of 10 annoying concert behaviors, 10 most from a magazine article on January 14th, 2013. Number 10 was yelling, "Sit down," as people were standing up. Sit down,
Hey, I paid money for this seat, man.
What I mean?
I'll use it if I want.
And you can imagine that with all the things going on with the concerts and the lines and everything, and some people are standing and some are seated and some people are disabled in that, so it's kind of really tough there, and everybody working. Actually, when you're in a concert, it's kind of like everybody's in a church setting, like an environment, everybody's got to kind of work together, but there's always people are tangential and doing their own thing, Number 9 is filming the entire show on their iPhone, right? Can you imagine paying all that money? Like the average price for a major concert is like $87 for any average ticket,
and then they won't let you film it with a regular video camera.
With an iPhone, with an iPhone. Why go to the concert? And it's probably not going to turn out well. They want to put it on YouTube or something. Number 8 is loudly complaining after the show because the band didn't play your favorite song, and they're playing new music and that. Listen to the new music. So again, those are the 10, 9, and 8. I'll hold up on there and that as we go on. But it's the idea
what was number 1?
Well, you
least
have to
tell
come
us
back
that.
next week, man. That's my research. Yeah, I see I'm saving that for another show, man.
You know what? The ticket price is what got me. You say the average?
Approximately 80. I think it's closer to $89 in that. And that's listed from Rolling Stone magazine in that.
I mean,
For
that's
a national act.
that's crazy.
oh yeah, that's a
man.
big time show.
Because I remember going
That's
to
a
the
St.
Florida
Pete's
World
Forum
Music
type show.
Festival in '78, and I saw Frank Marino, Mahogany Rush, Brownsville Station, Cheap Trick, Aerosmith, and Ted Nugent.
All for $20.
And yeah, it cost me about $20 to go to the concert. You know, we went out. Well, it was the T-Bowl at the time. We spent the night camping out around the T-Bowl, but that was like $20 for those 5 acts. Now, if you put $87 a piece on those acts right now, you know what that show would be today?
Well, yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
man.
festivals they group it a little different. Like the Rock Fest that's coming, that's not 87 per band by no means. You can buy a 4-pack for $100 to Rock Fest.
And you mentioned livestock before earlier, Roger. They still doing that? I haven't seen or heard
Actually,
any
no,
promo.
it's Rockfest now.
Certainly
They
not.
used to have the campgrounds and all that. I could show you some pictures where I have my tent in the background. I have a little bicycle,
I would.
and on the bicycle I have a big thing of a Mountain Dew on it, strapped to it.
Dew, watch out for this guy.
Well, he didn't
Mine
mention the
was
vodka he
moonshine,
had
for
in it.
Christ's sake.
Moonshine.
Livestock was the time to cut loose and forget where you came from, whether you wanted to or not.
Now, the only thing that else that one of the other concerts that I like to go to is like the Taste of Pinellas. Those are usually like $10 for those concerts.
Yeah, and they have some good old bands that go through.
Oh,
there,
I've seen Styx, of course, Cheap Trick, Foreigner,
Eddie Money.
Eddie Money, all of those big bands.
I love that 2 tickets
Toto,
to
don't forget
Paradise
about
commercial.
Toto.
That
Toto
commercial's
too.
great.
Toto too.
I also saw Pat Benatar there. You know, there was a lot of great bands.
That's-
And the food's great.
Yeah, you get a lot of food to sample up there. You probably go broke trying to.
Bottom line,
go more
Tampa
than the
Bay
food.
area is a hotbed, man. Everywhere you go, from the Pasco County all the way down into Pinellas, St. Pete, I mean,
Indian Rocks, all that.
Indian Rocks Beach, you name it. There is a lot of talent, a lot of music stuff going on all over this area. Central Florida, man, it's happening.
It is. There's always something to do. You're never at a loss.
Never at a loss for music.
Never be bored
As
around
long as
here. that's
people
for sure.
love music, there'll be musicians and there'll be bands trying to make people happy, you know?
Well, this used to be the heavy metal capital of the world, Tampa
is.
Bay. It's I guess it is still is. You know, so you know, for those who are really influenced by music, this is the area to be in. You know.
Yeah, heavy metal. We had Foreshadow last week. It don't get much heavier.
Oh
than
yeah,
that, those guys.
They were more. They were like
maybe
death metal.
Deicide, they're from Florida.
Oh, Deicide, yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, who's that now?
Deicide, yeah.
That's
Who's
the
about
kings of death metal.
Cannibal Corpse, I think was another one.
The Slayer, they were
Limp
based
Bizkit,
on
Marilyn
Slayer.
Manson, they're all Florida bands.
Yeah, I knew Marilyn Manson was from the area.
And the number one place that you can get all these records
I
at
think
one
even
time. I
311
don't
is
remember
a
if anybody
Florida band.
remembers. There was a place called Frank's, Aces Records. Anybody remember Aces Records? No, in Tampa.
I remember Peaches.
Peaches,
Yeah.
That was right down the road from where we're at here, right by Countryside Mall.
Yeah. it
Well,
was.
if you were wanting to call into the Rocket Man show, well, you're too late. We're about to conclude this program.
No.
And we want to thank the Eric Anderson Band for coming in.
Who?
And Eric Anderson Band?
That's right.
Yeah.
The Eric Anderson
The
Band.
Eric Anderson Band. We're less Billy Eisner, but we want to say hey to Billy and well, good luck with you all out there in Texas.
Hope you all have a,
Billy.
hope you
Yeah,
have a
we
safe
want to wish
trip
those
out there.
guys good luck. Have a safe trip. And again, I'd like to thank everybody who showed up to that benefit yesterday out of Bourbon Street. Success helped the guys get to Texas. Mojo Dragonfly was there, played a rockin' set. The Embry Brothers were there. They kicked butt. And I want to shout out to those guys and the folks down at Bourbon Street who made it happen.
So we want to say thank you to everybody who's tuned in to the show today, and say that next Monday, 7:30 to 8:30, we'll be on here. Yeah, can't think of the name of the band that's going to be here next week, but we'll let you know.
He's really on the ball, folks.
Oh yeah,
And you can catch Monty Valdez, Eric Anderson, Mark Allen this Wednesday, as they do every Wednesday at Pasco County's longest running jam.
The
It's the new
Boulevard
Friday.
Lounge.
Wednesday is the new Friday, so
There you
make
go.
sure you're there.
Hey, I'm going to check a couple songs tonight at Jack's Joint, man. A little Doors, Love Me 2 Times. I don't think I'm going to do Satisfaction tonight. I kind of kicked my song set around with the track, and there's a KJ over there, and got a nice set for all kinds of music there at the Jack's Joint. Yeah.
So thank you for joining the Rocket Man Show. We'll hope to see you next week, 7:30 to 8:30. Be cool. We'll see you then.
See you guys Wednesday.
Yeah, you will.
Later, dudes.
Bye.
What was that? I'll tell you what that was. That was another fun show from RockSlamRadio.com. Yeah.